Welcome back. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
And it's your boy Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming The Boys. This is season 3, episode, no, 4.
Season 4.
Whoa.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, baby.
We're going to go back in time.
Season 4, episode 2, Life Among the Seven. We just watched it. If you're new to the show, we hop on the mics right after we watch each episode.
Raw reaction.
And so with that being said, don't judge us. We don't listen to any other people's commentary about this episode. We might miss some stuff, you know. We know there's superheroes involved. Other than that, we're putting things together on our own.
Literally, we can't even find character names online because it's that under wraps. Because we're actually recording this. What is today? The second? The 2nd of June.
2 weeks before.
So like 2 weeks before it's actually being aired, before this episode even comes out. So we can't even research some actor names because they got this stuff under lock and key.
I'm Googling characters and actor names, and I feel like I'm going to get flagged. And there's a rep from Amazon that's going to pop up and
it's actually Jeff.
Shoot me in the head.
It's Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's going to come down.
I don't work there anymore, but I still do assassination work for them for fun.
We call it wet work.
Bezos definitely has taken Compound V.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the listeners are like, are they prepping us for the dumb shit they're about to say? Yes.
Yes, we are.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
We're giving you purpose.
We're going to talk about our overall thoughts on episode 2. And then we're going to do the deep dive, a scene-by-scene, play-by-play recap and reaction to the episode itself. Follow it all up, cap it off with our top 3 favorite moments, our diabolical moments. And then, maybe dive into the vault a little bit for some Easter eggs. Probably not. I don't think there's much in that episode. And then finally, our Compound VIP, our favorite performance of the episode, award that to somebody. Will it be Anthony Starr, Carl Urban, Aaron Moriarty, Laz Alonso, Tomer Capone? We don't know. Will I give it to Karen Fukuhara every single time? Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
I mean, I assume so.
Everybody's got to have a stand. And I am hers.
You're drawing the line.
At least
in
you're
the sand.
consistent.
Yeah.
If Karen Fukuhara has no fans, I am dead. That's what they say. Right?
What does dead may never die?
What rises up? Again, stronger. Something like that.
Yeah.
We're mixing our fandoms together, Steve.
We're doing a lot of coverages simultaneously.
It's like our 19th episode today, so good luck enjoying this one, folks.
Yeah. It'll be unhinged.
Speaking of which, you can go to patreon.com/streamingthings to hear all of our bonus episodes and content, including our deep dive through all of Game of Thrones. You can also go to streamingthingspod@gmail.com and send us an email to get our thoughts on the boys episodes or what kind of food we like or whatever.
All that stuff.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And also, as you're listening to this, tickets are on sale for the general public for the Streaming Things live show on October 5th in the Woodward Theater in Cincinnati, Ohio. So go get those while they last.
They might be sold out by the time they hear this.
That's true. I might have to flag this just to verify that we're not sold out by the time this airs in 2 weeks.
Leave it in. Tease them.
Yeah, tease them. So someone's like, ooh, I'm going to go get my tickets. What? Sold out?
Sold out.
Already?
The person that you're imagining is like 84, I'm guessing. I'm going to get my tickets to the Streaming Things live show.
Oh, boy. The Streaming Things Nickelodeon.
Let me get my jug of quarters together. Take them to the bank after I roll them up so I can get a ticket.
I'm impressed that this fan knows how to click on the link to the tickets.
I'm going to go
That's a terrible stereotype, Madison.
Sorry, I'm
I
ageist.
may have wheat pennies, but I know how to use the internet.
I'm actually a hacker.
I'm in.
Super ageist.
All right, guys. Let's get serious. This is a very serious TV show.
Very serious.
Let's talk about our overall thoughts, our immediate reaction to Life Among the Seven, the 2nd episode of the 4th season. Madison, how are you feeling right now? You just finished watching it.
I feel all right. I enjoyed this episode. I feel like this season in particular has been this season, episodes 1 and episode 2 have been very funny, surprisingly. Not that seasons 1 through 3 haven't been really comical, but I feel like they're really leaning into a lot of the comedy bits. And it's hitting very well. We start off with seeing Will Ferrell, which was just completely out of nowhere. Loved that. Would I say this is my favorite? No. Would I say it's like borderline bad? No. I would just say I can see that they're still building onto what else is going to happen in season 4. So I'm just kind of like sitting with it. It's like, okay, I see what you guys are doing. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. Not my favorite episode, but it had a lot of funny moments that I enjoyed.
It's like they're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you're walking in
cook.
and they're maybe letting you lick the egg beaters, but you can't judge the recipe yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's like the batter is being mixed right now.
Yeah. We're just licking beaters.
Yeah.
Yep. Just licking beaters.
That's a great.
What's so funny about licking beaters?
Nothing. That's why I use the analogy.
Long flicks of the tongue over individual beaters to get the creamy filling that's on the beater.
That's right. Just to taste what's been whipped up.
Yep.
But you can't judge it yet.
Right.
We're not quite.
You don't know how it'll taste.
We're not in Flavor Town yet. No. We're just looking at the roadmap. Steve, what do you think of the episode?
To agree with what Madison said, I think this season continues to be the funniest one so far. There's a ton of laugh out loud moments in this episode. I mean, the whole entire first scene, I think we were all collectively in the room belly laughing, just the absurdity of Will Ferrell being there and just doing a Blind Side ripoff with A-Train. And then when they kind of pull the curtain back and you see it's part of a TV or the movie that they're making about A-Train's origin story, and just even that's funny. Just like, you guys smell that? You guys smell that? Oscar. It's just so ridiculous. But this is an episode that's kind of it's kind like, I really did enjoy this episode. I do think it's one of those like laying the foundation so that it's not like, I don't think anything like incredibly consequential happened, but there's a lot of fun to be had. I actually really got a kick out of all of the little japes and jabs towards the do your own research crowd. And that might upset a certain subsect of people, but let's be honest, they're not listening to this show. And like, I got a kick out of it. Like, literally there's a point where Firecracker it's a small little line, but she says something like, hey, we got to get out of here quickly. The flat earthers have this place at 4:30. Like, just that kind of stuff is just really funny to me. And I think they like, there's a really powerful moment specifically with Kimiko in this sort of truth con convention that they go to. That's like, yeah, this show understands the satire of how ridiculous this whole enterprise of right wing find the truth is out there, that bullshit that people are peddling. And I do like how they're leaning into it even more and more and more, because that is something that is very timely, very consequential to our real lives. And I love it when shows are like, yeah, we don't care, fuck you. Like, we're gonna make fun of this ridiculous plot. Like, specifically, I'm thinking of when, because she has that trauma of being human trafficked, and she tells that guy, like, if you really cared about kids being human trafficked, you would go after actual traffickers and not this fairy tale that you're telling yourself. And that's so powerful. Like, yeah, none of these people who always are like, you're a pedophile, like, they don't give a shit about actual kids or pedophiles. They're just trying to use this as a cudgel against the people they see as other than them. And I just really appreciate the show doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, overall, enjoy the episode. Kit?
I did too. I mean, the show is never completely missed. And it could be, this was, we are 7 hours into our recording session today. So I want to take it with the tiniest grain of salt, maybe. But I didn't love that episode. I thought it was a pretty big step down from the first episode, which of course, the listeners that are listening to this now have a third episode they can go ahead and watch, and they probably are, right? Like, I think when Amazon does this, they're aware of a lot of people binging the first 3. And so I would expect the end of the third episode to be a pretty raw cliffhanger where you're fucking in for the season now at this point. And the second episode maybe doesn't need to be designed that way. But I was kind of like, there was parts of this episode where it felt like The Boys parodying itself. It was really funny, really engaging, but like the human centipede ass eating thing, it was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, are you just trying to be, it felt like a little Garth Ennis-y. Like, at this point, you're just trying to think of something wild and crazy. Like, I like all the Butcher and MM stuff. I like the journey that Kimiko's on. Frenchie, interesting, I don't know how I feel about this struggle that Starlight's having. It seems it's not landing like you.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
A lot of the stuff that happened in this episode, I can see coming from a mile away. And some of it I can see 4 episodes from now. I hope I'm surprised. But it's like, of course, she's going to redon the Starlight uniform. And that, you know what I mean? Like, let's get there. Come on. I don't care.
Yeah.
Ryan throwing the guy so hard that it kills him. you could see that from a mile away, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's one of my favorite moments. I liked it. But at the same time, it's like, when are you going to surprise me? That's not something just a dude that split himself into 6 pieces and is eating his own ass. Now, I can't be blamed for not calling that. But at the same, it's like, it's kind of cheating in a narrative surprise way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of your reaction to the Splinter guy eating his own ass is like what my reaction was to Termite exploding the dude in the first episode of season 3, where it's like, okay, well, what are we furthering here with this? This is just shocking to be shocking.
Yeah.
At least I got a couple good pink eye jokes out of.
That's what I mean, though. Like the pink eye stuff was like so silly to me. Like, it's funny. I laughed, but it's there's some real deep shit to some of this show, to a lot of this show for me. Mm-hmm. But again, it's like it's second episode, like Madison said, they're cooking. That's why I made the joke. It's like I can't be upset at the batter. Let me see the cake.
Just lick them beaters.
Exactly. I mean, I love the show, Splinter. I love the show, and there was just a couple things that maybe weren't working so well for me during this episode. That's all. But yeah, overall, super excited for episode 3. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So let's dive right into Life Among the Seven. It opens, like you guys said, with the one of the many propaganda films that they're making, or pandering movies, whichever way you want to look at it.
A biopic, if you will.
Yeah, about A-Train. And it's got this whole like Stringer Bee from The Wire set up, like with the couch in the courtyard. And A-Train is zipping around slinging yayo, as Will Ferrell's character says. Come on with me, back to the suburbs.
Oh my gosh, when Will Ferrell reveals, and it's got that like inspirational music, I was just dying. Like, what is Will Ferrell doing in here? And he's like, wait, buddy, when's the last time you've had a decent meal? Just being total like this blindside white savior shtick that is like,
come back to
ridiculous.
Me, to the suburbs.
To the suburbs.
God. Ferrell Streep. Oh my God. The director that we've seen all throughout the first 3 seasons pops up, hyping up Ferrell to no end.
Life, or you'll run your life into an early grave.
Yeah, they got tons of good run puns going on. The writers are on point here.
Mm-hmm.
You better make some shelf space, De Niro, because I smell an Oscar.
Yeah, he's hyping Ferrell all the way. And that's Will Ferrell playing Will Ferrell, which is great.
You don't think I'm giving too much of a blindside vibe?
Why would that be a bad thing?
As if that's a bad thing.
It's good. And you can see what they're doing with A-Train's character, part of his arc, which seems to be almost complete at this point. He's pretty disgusted with himself. And then we get a bit with the new Black Noir, who is really upset about the murder, or not upset, but like confused. Like, do we kill people all the time, man? Like,
that's kind of messed up.
And A-Train's like, your whole thing is just not talking. That's your main thing. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I guess we have a little bit of an answer where this guy who's playing Black Noir.
Everybody seems to know Noir's dead.
Everyone, yeah. But also this dude just seems to be an actor. Like, is he super powered? We don't know yet, but he's definitely an actor because he's like, I'm struggling to find Noir's motivation here.
I think he has to be super powered because he fucking blasted that dude's head off with that bat, like in one hit.
I think he is a suit.
Okay.
Because when he hit him, it was just like, and like you could kill somebody with a bat.
That was a really good soundbite.
Yeah, I used to play with a lot of action figures as a kid alone.
I love it.
It was a whole thing.
Anyway.
Like you could kill somebody with a bat, Steve, but not like that.
With these
not one
little arms? I don't know.
Not one hit. It would take you a little while, I'd be like, ow.
I'm just crying the whole time. Why am I doing this?
This is for Pippin.
The person is willingly staying to let you kill them.
Yeah, they would be like, come on, buddy, you got it.
Come on.
No,
words of encouragement.
You just really give it your best shot, buddy. You can do it. But he's also an actor as well. That's what. That's the main point.
He's like,
what's my motivation here? Like,
Which
it's fucked up.
I want to know if we've met this person already, or if
you think it'll be a reveal, or if it just doesn't matter.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see. Part of me is like, I feel like it could go one of two ways. It can be, it'll be revealed and it'll be someone we've seen, or they'll just be like, dude, and then just shoot him or something, kill him. I don't know.
Or like seeing him with his mask off will be what finally makes Homelander snap. Yeah, like he's in the locker room or something.
Right.
Like I'm still really struggling here. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But we cut to Starlight is in the hospital with Kiara. Is it Kira or Kiara?
I think it's Kira.
I'm
going to push back on that.
Okay.
Her campaign manager.
Yeah, it's her. She got beat up at the Home Teamers versus Starlighters
by Steve.
She's still in a coma. And
I don't want to do this.
I'm not strong enough physically. And then
I gotta say, so she's watching the
Fox News.
the Cole guy. He's been around a couple of times. The far right newscaster on Fox News that who's doing a bang up Tucker Carlson job like this. He's got the I'm just asking questions face down so well.
But everyone knows that he's getting pegged by Ashley.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can see the Homelander dildo behind him the whole time.
He stands up and he's wearing it.
And we're not here to kink shame. First off, just want to be that guy.
Not at all.
Yeah, if that tweaks your freak, do it, my guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just want to point out that
I just want to point out he's nailing that Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, and she's upset, so she kind of starlight twitches to get the TV all fucked up. But I don't know if it's in the same hospital, but Huey also in the hospital.
Right, it's across the hallway.
So it's like, oh wow, they're gonna cut this hospital scenes right together. Huey's there with his dad, who's still also unconscious. And his mom, as we recall from episode 1, is in there, but she's an employee of Vitality.
It was kind of
a holistic doctor, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
She's all into smelling salts and oils and astrology.
Very earthy.
Yeah,
granola. Yeah,
she's
crunchy.
She does.
Crunchy.
She says thank Gaia a lot. But I don't know what were you guys' impressions of the reveal of Huey's mom? Because at the end of the last episode, it was turns around, Mom, you don't see who it is, and then in this episode, she just kind of wanders in oh, here are all my tonics, and it was anticlimactic. It was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what direction they're planning on going with that, and part of me is kind of I hope the payoff here is significant because it has been kind of an anticlimactic introduction. So yeah, I mean, I just was kind of oh, I guess he's going to have mommy issues now. I guess that's kind of what is happening now.
Mm-hmm. But that was one of the bigger, I didn't mention it in the opening remarks, but that's one of the plot lines that's not working for me at all. Mm-hmm. Especially Huey periodically,
your promises aren't worth shit.
While they're talking, that's silly. Why are you having him do that? No grown ass man is going to completely time travel to an argument. I could see him lost in thought about it, and they're trying to show that visually as best they can, but it's silly that he's just out loud whispering that shit. Yeah. Because I am somebody who's consumed by resentment frequently, unfortunately. And even I don't do that. I'm just a little spacey,
Yeah, it seems like they wanted this joke of him just yelling that at her when he came into the room, and they worked backwards to try to set that joke up, and it just didn't work.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, and also too, her reaction to she just seems completely unaware of the fact that she left her kid. You know what I mean? I feel like she herself should be more apologetic towards the situation and understanding the situation at hand. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that they are acknowledging what the audience, us, is feeling, and that they can, I don't know, warp it some way so we can know that there's a better payoff to all of this weirdness happening.
I do think that they show her, we'll get to it in a little bit, but consumed by her own grief about having left her son. And she just has this kind of delusional, narcissistic, brush it under the rug tactic, which I have seen in real life. Someone I care about very much, his mother abandoned them at birth, and she'll show up in their life from time to time and be like, want to come to my birthday party tomorrow? And they'll be like, I don't know you, and they do kind of do that. So maybe that's what that is. But yeah, we find out that she left Huey when he was 6. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but she has power of attorney over his father, Hugh Sr.
They've been talking the last year or two.
Apparently they've been talking, and Huey may be a little hurt by that because he hasn't been around his dad very much ever since the whole The Boys thing popped off. So he's found some comfort in his ex.
Does he even eat pizza rolls anymore? How much do we know about Hugh Sr.?
He has to.
How much has he changed?
Is he still reading Patterson novels?
He's graduated to Hot Pockets.
He's a big boy now.
We cut to Frenchie sneaking out on Colin, and the way that scene's edited is really funny because it looks like he's shirtless. You assume that they've had sex because Frenchie's sneaking out, and then when Colin wakes up, he says, "Leave some money on the table," like I'm a whore, right? Mm-hmm. But then he's like, "Oh, you need to stay in bed. You're too injured," and it's like, "Damn, you clapped those cheeks too good.
Right?
Maybe you're a little too rough."
Yeah.
I know that he got beat up at the Starlighter event.
It is weird,
but then you have to assume that even though he's super hurt, they had sex anyway. You know what I mean?
I mean, they were laying in bed naked, so yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've all been there where it's like, oh, I'm really, really tired. I got beat up. I feel sick, but not sick enough.
Not too sick.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Not too sick.
I'm going to pillow princess it. Yeah. That's what I would do if I was injured.
Yeah.
You have a reason.
Yeah.
I get that.
Treat me like royalty today.
Yeah. You'll be bottom.
Yeah. Just splinter me.
I like your little Frenchie that
Open
came
the
out.
bottom.
Dang.
Is that where Butcher got that photo?
Then we cut to Kamiko. She's got a therapist. She's there with her like psychologist, and
She's clearly not having a good time.
also has a speech therapist. And she's grumpy. She's grumpy with her therapist, and then ends up storming out after breaking the chair.
She takes notice of a really weird like little mouse statue that she kind of sees in her flashbacks later on, which I wonder what that's about.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't either.
Like when they go to TruthCon and she like has those like quick little flashes of like memories of her time being trafficked. One of the flashes is that statue
Interesting.
that was in the therapist's office. So I wonder,
You think she'll be betrayed by therapist?
maybe she's actually like
What a message.
we think she's going to get therapy, but actually she's doing her own little like
Secret
detective
psychoanalysis.
Yeah, she's looking for the people that got her in the
Like
situation
the
that she's
therapist
in.
is one of the people that she's uncovered as a. I get what you're saying.
Maybe,
Be a
yeah.
twist. Maybe. I could see that.
Or it's just whoever her captors were like also like that weird little mouse statue.
Or, part of the therapy, she's having flashes of her trauma and also her attempt at help.
Yeah.
But I think you're probably onto something. Butcher is telling the crew when Kamiko arrives at the safe house that he's dying. And MM uses that opportunity to fire him. Only Huey has wanted him on the crew throughout this anyway.
Oh, you're dying? You're fired.
Yeah, you should leave. You should probably be alone for your remaining days.
Right.
with no support structure, no friends or family.
I'm giving you time off.
Which, we can't we got to defend MM a little bit. Butcher doesn't deserve a ton of sympathy.
Right.
But still, that's our boy.
Yeah.
He's been a wee bit diabolical.
Just a wee bit.
A wee bit diabolical.
He's still a Spice Girl. You can't just leave him hanging. And
Scary
then
Spice.
we cut to the corporate writers' room talking about Ryan's big debut as Homeboy.
Oh my gosh.
Homeboy.
That was so funny.
We all lost it at that one.
I don't think we've talked in our recaps. Have we talked about these two writers that have popped up from time to time?
They haven't.
No.
Every time they pop up, their scenes are always really funny because they're just, they've got that like, imagine it, picture it, interior, day. A man rises up to the occasion. Who is it? It's this person. And then we also see some more of the one writer who like had some sort of romantic relationship with another superhero that froze his dick off. I think this at season 3, the Deep's like, well, you don't have a dick. And it's like,
Yeah.
but it's always fun to see those two guys pop up again because they're always just a hoot whenever they're around.
Yeah.
I like their energy.
No, the Homeboy reveal was hilarious. And you can see that there's kind of this like internal fight with Homelander and with Sister Sage, especially because Homelander's like, yeah, you're going to be like an extension of me, which is like kind of like almost sidekicking his son. So Homelander can stay relevant. And Sister Sage is like throwing no, he needs to be the chosen one, like the Harry Potter, the Luke Skywalker of
White boy lone saviors.
Exactly. So she's like arguing, no, he needs to just be his own superhero, not associated with you.
Yeah.
And Homelander's kind of okay with it, but we later learn that he's not fully okay with that.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because he hired her because he has nothing but, sycophants and idiots around him. And she's the only one that will speak up when it's a terrible idea. So that's what she's doing.
That pitch blows harder than Nancy Reagan at the MGM backlot. What a great pull that was.
You as a president's trivia guy,
Oh, cackled.
that was a Steve
Sister
Taylor-made
Sage
joke.
has some pretty sick lines
Yeah,
in
she
this
does.
in the show.
She got some zingers. But yeah, so he doesn't actually like it turns out, when people naysay him, because he's over there quoting the script and shit. He's super into this Homeboy idea. So he's hired her, like, part of him is aware he needs somebody pushing back so he can get some good advice. But he also doesn't like it. And that's why nobody stands up to him, because he's like killed them all,
Yeah.
He's the Darth Vader, just killing all the new generals.
I feel like he's the Kylo Ren.
yeah,
having
he's less
temper
emotionally
tantrums.
developed even than Anakin.
Grandfather? And Soldier Boy's dad.
But also, I think it's pretty obvious, like, Sage is culminating to a different plan that is not
Yeah.
Homelander running the world.
I
Right?
mean, we kind of called that in the first episode.
Yeah.
If that's indeed
Yeah,
where they go, is that she has ulterior motives that she's going to probably dupe him at some point.
Yeah. She has a personal, some type of plan that she's wanting to execute.
Yeah.
But also, I will say, creating a character that is a super genius is a hard thing to pull off because whoever's writing it is probably not a super genius. You know what I mean? So when you have like the Joker,
Who is a super genius?
that's what I'm saying. But like when you write shows for like Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock or something, like it's a really fine line between silliness and like having them come off as like a superior mind or a criminal mastermind. Like I think Dark Knight does it really well with the Joker. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always work if you look at it too long, but it's a movie, right? So like the opening bank heist where he has each member kill the other member. And at the end, he alone drives off with all the money. Like you're like, oh, okay, criminal mastermind. Like it just works, but it doesn't always work. And I don't think they're pulling it off to make me believe that Sage is the smartest person on the planet yet. Cause she's not doing anything super impressive.
She hasn't quite done anything yet. We were only seeing the seeds of her plan so far.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, you're gonna get the alt-right people upset at Starlight, and you're it's like you're doing something I could fucking think of. You know what I mean? Like you're stirring up trouble between the two people that already hate each other. Genius. You know what I mean? Like I want to see some like, oh shit, that's smart. Which I'm sure it's coming. I hope it's coming. But I just wanted to say that. Like I'm not like, oh damn,
no, I get that.
Smartest person ever. Like their whole I'm the smartest person in the world bit in episode 2 was I knew you were following me, which I guess was kind of, she left those deep sea room 9 p.m. notes for them to find pretty quickly. I don't know.
I get that. This speaks to how dumb I am. When she kept writing like deep blue sea room, I kept thinking like, does the deep have a fun little sea room?
That's what I'm
really excited to see the deep. Like, welcome to my blue room.
Well, they are named after the heroes for sure.
There was May's gender neutral bathroom.
Oh my God. I didn't see that.
I think it was gender neutral ballroom, right? Because it was
yeah, you're right. It was a ballroom.
I think, but yeah,
you're right. Because I read bathroom, but yeah, you're right. They walked into a ballroom. So it's probably ballroom because I can't read. Because I am not Sage.
Can't read.
Yeah, so she comes up with the whole bit about him being the chosen one. And then it's her and Ashley in the elevator.
I love how you can hear Ashley's heels clicking like because she's like she has an axe to grind.
We realized, speaking of smartest person ever, at least 3-inch heels.
At least 3.
Because
she's so Colby Menifee is 5'8". Chase Crawford is 5'10". So math.
Mm-hmm. And Sage is 5'3".
Sage is 5'3". Because there's
a stark height difference in that elevator.
It was a very jarring height differential, and it caught my eye, and I needed to investigate.
Plus,
and
we didn't know if that shirt was flesh-colored stripes.
It's
well, I mean, Madison's pretty positive.
It's boobs.
It's boobs.
But it's not. It's like
I've never seen that design before.
It's like front side boob. It's like connected at the neck, and there's a middle piece.
Should I wear that to the premiere?
I think you should.
You should.
Yeah, Olivia Cook would be like, it. Hey,
stunning.
Ooh, stunning.
But I'll shave my chest only in those strips.
You should contour your
So when you take it off, you're still technically wearing
That's right.
Talk about flesh color. Mm-hmm. You should contour your chest to make it look like you have
breasts.
Yeah.
I have those. Don't worry about that.
But anyway, what she was wearing, I was like, slay.
Yeah, slay.
You look great, Colby. Slay.
But she tells, she's worried for Sage. She's like, you can't talk to Homelander like that, just so you know, right? And in the middle of that, the Deep walks in. And he's like, hey, I think I should be at Ryan's first mission.
I got a pitch for you. I got a great idea for Ryan's first mission.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. I have an idea. What if I was there?
That's it.
That's it.
And she tells him to fuck off basically and leaves. And then Sage is like, this is where I'm like, this is where her super geniusness is. Oh, you're better than her. You're a superhero. You should stand up to her. Like she's more, it's like people in high school start shit like that, not super geniuses.
She's almost like her superpower is almost just like being very bluntly honest, which like I'm sure you can confuse that with like intelligent. I don't know. But
I get away with it. Like just being a dick.
Yeah. You're just, I'm super intelligent. I'm allowed to be an asshole to you.
I'm just so smart. And that's why I said your shoes don't look cool.
That justifies me being an asshole.
I, again, laughed out loud when she was like, you can't let Ashley talk to you like that. She's like a capybara, pause. Oh. It's like a little rodent thing. And Deep goes, cappuccino, got it.
He's not smart. But
you should definitely be at that save for sure.
Oh, goodness.
But she hypes him up. And then we get to like the boys debriefing, but only MM and Annie are really paying attention. Kimiko is looking at her therapist's business card. Huey's over there practicing what he's going to say to his mother. And Frenchie is distracted thinking about Colin, we can assume, right? So everybody's kind of distracted. And then we cut to...
But Annie wants to take a run at A-Train.
Yeah.
And then wants to take the rest of them and go to TruthCon.
And Huey says he's going to go with Annie to A-Train because he needs to stay nearby his dad, which I thought MM was cool for being like, understood.
Get it, man.
You know, family first. That's right. I like that. It's an employer which I wonder how much they make. They got to be making some money. They're on the CIA payroll now, but it's like, I'm saying I wonder what their salary is.
Yeah. I mean,
I was thinking about that too, actually.
Really? What do you think the benefits are?
I mean, the rent alone for the Flatiron building has to be insane.
I was going to say, they kept like showing the B-roll of the Flatiron building. I'm like, that's expensive to live there. They're in New York City for that. Yeah.
They just have an office of that though, right?
I assume that they live there.
Well, it's probably
like a lair.
both. Yeah, I'm trying to look up to see if there's a Flatiron building. So I just Googled, and from Echelon, Chelsea, the Flatiron apartment building, studio 3-bedroom, $4,995 a month. Honestly, not as bad as I was expecting. I thought it was going to be worse.
But they're living in like a loft.
That's a 3-bedroom? We could all three throw in on that.
Ooh, there's another one.
Studio, New York City.
Slay.
There's another one here that has it for $8,082 a month.
That's out of our budget.
Yeah, that's out of the budget.
I can't do that one.
We'll have to talk to the realtor.
Yeah. I have to talk to the CIA. Ask for a raise.
Please, for the podcast that you guys pay for.
Please.
The because we have a woke agenda that we're peddling for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promote the CIA.
Ryan is rehearsing for his first fake save.
It's like a whole blocking sequence.
I know he's got like the mark that he lands on and shit. It's so funny.
I appreciated that because that's actually how like they coordinate stunt stuff for movies. Like it'll be in that type of room with cardboard boxes everywhere, and that's how they like block out choreographed fight scenes before they actually go and film it for actual movies. So this is kind of a fun little.
It's like a behind the scenes
blue screens and everything in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some kind of bank heist where he's going to save the little girl.
They're giving Noir and deep notes and stuff. It's so good.
I like how the stunt guy playing the little girl has a wig on.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Help me.
Help me. Noir, you're doing too much. Don't fucking talk. Deep, drop the love taco thing. It's a PG show.
I know. When it comes to actually doing it, he's like, stop fucking, don't go there.
What the I mean, what the heck are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
Or so we actually going to kill people day of? Or shut the fuck up, Deep. But yeah, at this point, they tell Ryan that he's being a little too gentle, and he can, like, this stunt guy's like, hey man, I can take it. Throw me pretty hard, okay? So the Deep takes this like at the, what do they call it on movie sets?
Craft
services.
Craft services. The craft services. And this is where he decides to stand up to Ashley. She has got some pretty good singers. And finally,
I'm the Lord of the Seven Seas. You can't talk to me like that.
Fucking kill you. And she's actually pretty scared.
I would drown you in your fucking toilet after I've used it.
At first she's like, shut the fuck up. But then he like gets in her face.
He tries to say the capybara line and she's like, oh, you fucking land animals now?
Yeah.
And that's when he's like, gosh darn it, I'm not going to be talked to this way.
Which like I can understand. Like Ashley doesn't have any suit powers. So like I completely understand her fear. Makes sense.
Oh yeah. She's around people that are very not nice.
She's in the wrong line of work.
Yeah. She's no Stillwell.
Yeah. But we know that she's not
no Stan Edgar.
Yeah.
And we also get more Homelander like middle-aged worries, you know, because he hears like the makeup team talking about.
Well, remember we just watched him pulling out gray cubes. Hello?
Not cubes.
Gray
cubes.
Why are there gray cubes in my underwear?
So like, I mean, that it appears that they're alluding to him getting older. I don't know what that means.
He doesn't want to get replaced by the new young hotness, his son.
Yeah.
He doesn't want his son to replace him quite yet.
Yeah.
He's still got plenty left in the tank.
Does he?
Yeah.
Ryan's going to take him out. That's who kills Homelander,
He's
I bet.
box dyeing those pubes. Don't worry.
Yeah, he better be. It was good on camera. He's toast. That's the PR he does not need.
What are those gray pubes? Ew. Homelander sucks now.
This episode of Streaming Things is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
You know, Steve, there's something I need to get off my chest.
What's that, fella?
It's been weighing on me. You know that I resigned at the day job recently, right? And I've been a little scared. There's a family to worry about. There's health insurance. There's capitalism.
Sounds like a stressful time.
But we all carry around different stressors, big and small. It feels better when you bring something to the light. We keep them bottled up. It can start to affect us negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. In my case, it's all the stress, the misery, the fear. But I had to come over here and share that with you, and I felt better. You know, that's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
Unloading all that on you and Erica and feeling better myself.
That's sounds like my Friday night.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're not vibing, that's completely fine. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
It's the month of June, and it's a very special month because our Patreon tiers just got a huge upgrade at patreon.com/streamingthings. And I want to thank the very special patrons who signed up to be super patrons of Streaming Things, keeping the lights on for us day in and day out. So thank you so much to Album Stinkpot, Digimon Digital Monsters with a much longer name, but I'm only saying those 3 words, Dylan Dunkleys, Stanton Valentino, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Parmesan, Sunshine, Ashley Hazen, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, Emily Scarano, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Bloff Pum, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Wendy O'Laughlin, Big Butthorn, Conrad, Jer Lektanovich, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elpander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, John Collins, Trisha Bueller, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen V, Casey McCain, and Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting Streaming Things. And with that, let's get back to this episode.
Any hoozle, the boys end up showing up at the convention where Sage is supposed to be.
TruthCon.
And they find Butcher is there. He's like, hey,
No.
you fired me. However, now I'm a private citizen. I'm allowed to be concerned about what the deep state's trying to hide from me, meaning them because they work for the CIA.
Yeah.
But he go in there and ironically, they're at TruthCon. All members of Truth Social, most likely.
Your brain is the experiment.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of every type of conspiracy theorist you can think of is
Flat Earthers.
got a booth in there.
I didn't see any of the fun ones though. Like no Bigfoots are real.
Yeah. No, what do they call it? Cryptids?
Yeah, no cryptid people, but they should have been there. Cryptid people, like that's a flat circle if you look at the Venn diagram of that group. Yeah.
Right.
Those are like these people that are just having fun, you know?
Yeah, cryptids are fun. They're having a good time.
least
They're like,
that's-
wouldn't it be weird if aliens existed? And then you got the people who are like, did you know that the Pizza Hut but down the street, if you go into the basement, there's kids
Yeah.
being sacrificed so Joe Biden can drink in a bloodbath?
Yeah, that's just weird.
Drinking a bloodbath. He's taking a bath, but also drinking the
Yeah.
water at the same time. It's fucked up.
Yeah, which is even grosser because
Yeah.
you got your own awful in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Kimiko gets like the human trafficking flashback when she first sees the poster. And she starts chugging beer, which I thought were energy drinks at first.
Yeah.
I
Made
was,
no sense.
I was so confused because it's in
Yeah.
a vending machine. So you're telling me alcohol related drinks are not.
Well, there was beer next to there was like cans of like Miller Lite or something that was next to the
Yeah,
one.
you're
But she
right.
was pulling the A-Train drink, and I thought that was an energy drink.
It might be
Yeah.
it's like Four Loko. It's both.
Oh, maybe.
Those things hit hard.
Oof. You saying that just like made me remember things from college.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Like a flashback, huh? Like you're like Kimiko
Was
right
that
now,
little-
but when you see a
was
Four
it-
Loko.
Was that little mouse statue in your flashback?
It was.
I knew I wasn't going to remember this note. And I was so fucking confident I wrote it down anyway.
What was the note?
It says FE 430.
FE 430.
For 30, I've done
Oh,
it.
the
Oh, flat earthers
have
get
the-
this at 430.
That's right. You already brought that joke up.
Yeah.
Then we're introduced to Splinter, though we don't know his name yet, while he's introducing Firecracker. Like these,
He's wearing a shirt that says Starlight is a pedo.
He is.
Yeah.
And they're like D-tier superheroes. And
we've seen her before. She was in the first episode of the season as like, I guess we saw some of her YouTube channel.
That's right.
Yeah.
She was out there fighting the Starlighters. You know, she's a staunch home teamer. And they're all the boys are in the audience watching her talk and gas people up. At the same time, Butcher's like having a hard time focusing. His brain tumor or whatever's going on seems to be affecting him. Kimiko is wasted and she's explaining to Frenchie she had 1 beer. Well, 4 beers. And later she's like 8 beers.
8 beers.
And they have this funny bit where they're like, people believe this shit? You know, she asks Frenchie that.
Because if you listen to Firecracker, what she's saying, it's like all this classic like anti-vax style stuff, but it's like with this superhero bent. And like, I love the bit where like, if you take all of Tom Hanks' movies and you add them up, it equals to 311, which is the police code for child porn. That's just math, people. They're all pedophiles.
It's just math.
It's just math.
That is probably something people are saying online.
Oh,
Probably.
for sure. Yeah.
That's what's wild. But there is a weird bit where when she asks Frenchie that, he's like, yeah, people will believe anything like that we've landed on the moon. And then Kimiko's like, wait, what? So he's the moon landing was a hoax guy.
Yeah,
Oh, no. I guess that's one of the more harmless conspiracy theories, that it was directed by Kubrick. At least they appreciate good movies. You know?
Right, exactly. Well, I hope they appreciate Kubrick. Maybe they just hate that movie. Which
The Homelanding?
Philistines.
The Homelanding
Yeah, the
movie?
Yeah.
Moon
I think it's a
landing?
good movie. And Kimiko's trying to wingman while she's drunk. She's like, get that dick, dude.
She's
She's texting Colin some eggplant emojis or something,
Let me get that dick.
which would work to a dude. You know what I mean?
Would work.
Would work.
Would work.
Woodworking.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't text well, I don't think I don't think so. You can't text a lady friend just an eggplant with a squirt emoji, you know? It's not usually going to work.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a bro, that probably does work.
like you just send that to me and I'll be like, I'll be over in 5.
Exactly. Like if I was if I sent Steve an eggplant, he'd be like,
Oh.
simple creatures. But yeah, and Frenchie's trying to explain to her, he's like, look, the issues that I'm having with dating Colin have nothing to do with you. Because Kimiko's like, I've been getting hella dick. I don't know why you're stalling on this.
Priest that jitterbean.
Do you think that's true, or she's lying to make Frenchie feel better? How did you read that? You think she fucked the barista at Jitterbean?
I hope she did.
By the way, isn't barista a woman and barista barrister is the man?
No idea.
It was hard to get the inflection of how she pronounced barista.
Oh, because she's using sign language.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I feel like, I've heard barista reference for both genders.
I have too.
So I feel like
think
just
you're-
barista.
I think you're right, Kit, but
nobody uses it that
nobody
way?
uses it that way.
Yeah, the masculine baristi.
Baristi.
I don't like that at all.
Who's my little baristi? Who's my baristi?
I mean, I
or
hope
the
Kamiko's getting that dick.
feminine barista.
Barista?
Barista?
With an E. I don't know, man.
Barista.
I mean, I can definitely see it being like
Yeah,
a French.
baristo, a slang boy version of barista, even though barista
Baristo?
is gender neutral. Oh,
There you
I
go.
see.
That sounds like a dude that was a barista and was like, no, there should be a boy version of it.
I'm a baristo.
Yeah. I'm a barista bro.
Barista bro. But while they're talking about this, they're supposed to be following Splinter. And he's like, let's get back to work, right? So they end up sneaking into the locker room and they find his clothes discarded and his phone there unlocked, I guess. And it says Deep Blue Sea, the Deep's Blue Sea room, 9 p.m. Anyway, it's somewhere to fucking be. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they hear him moaning. So they go into like the sauna.
Yeah.
And Splinter's in there like human centipeding himself. So he's jerking off to a photo of Firecracker while a different version of himself eats his ass and a different version of himself eats that guy's
It's
ass.
like 7 in a row or just like eating.
But the guy at the back, we talked about this off air, but it's upsetting to me. It's like
I know,
there's
it's
no
not fair.
orgy etiquette being utilized there. Make a circle.
Also,
first
they
off.
have him like on his hands and knees too. Like he has no back support.
He's also in
you
a
know?
sauna,
Yeah,
right?
it is a sauna.
It's
Yeah.
hot as hell
hot
in
and
there.
sweaty. That's why they get the pink eye.
And it's hilarious when they like creep in Splinter Prime, I guess. Like, oh, he's, oh my God, someone caught me. And then like the second dude's like, what's going on? Hey guys, you joining? Yeah. The dude at the back needs some help. He needs some attention.
He does though.
I get the idea that like Splinter's like counterparts are just like they're not fully there.
No, they all seem a little dumber. They're
Dumb.
like
Yeah.
dim. Yeah.
Prime, no.
But I'm sure
They're
he's
just
not super
bodies.
smart either, but
Right.
they do seem to kind of like bumble about.
Yeah.
He's like obsessed with Firecracker. He can't be a genius, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Splinter. But there, he's masturbating himself, basically. He just has the ability to involve other people in that.
He should just know that he needs to walk away from her, just go live in the sewers, adopt 4 teenage turtle sons. And
Well,
He'll
they
be
would
good.
be regular turtles at first, and they would grow up to be, because he would have to train them.
Well, that's great. Now he has a roadmap.
Would you do that though? If you had splinters of powers, would you split off and like get down with yourself?
Rim job myself? No.
Well, maybe not that far. Well, you wouldn't have to do it. You're Prime.
I don't know.
But which
He's flustered.
I don't want. That's a sensation I don't want to have.
But like Homelander did that. He slept with himself. Remember?
No.
Well, Mimic turned into him and then was
Give him
about
a
to
blowjob.
blow him, but he didn't actually
he
do it
stopped
because he
him.
said like you disgust me or something.
But he was cool with the Stillwell mimic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a second, I think Homelander considered it.
Yeah, he's like, he likes himself enough.
Yeah.
Steve has too much self-loathing, I think.
No, yeah. It's like
He would beat the other person up.
Here, put a paper bag over your head and let me hit you with a bat.
I don't know. I just think it's an interesting thought experiment to think if you could split off.
Would you? If I could split off, if I could split off, there'd be tons of things I would do. That specific action, no.
I don't think I would do that.
Really? I mean, me neither.
Really?
I'm shocked out of you, Madison.
I know.
Steve,
I'm
I
sorry.
get he's weird,
I'm sorry that I was so surprised.
but you,
What do you think
Madison.
of me?
My reaction to Madison is, wow, you're going to lie like that.
No, you just wanted me to say yes so you could say yes.
I'm not sure. I just think that there are certain, moods that you're in where you might accidentally do that.
I'm not sure, but I am human centipede curious.
But then there would be like the clarity
now we're
afterward where you'd be
getting
like,
into, like-
oh,
Yeah, that you got to think about.
I'd be
clarity
disappointed in
afterwards.
myself, literally. Like,
See,
dude.
I'm thinking about, because I said this off air too, where it's like, okay, well, if Splinter is able to split off, like what are the rights of that other human being?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm assuming he's had this power his whole life. So did he like split off when he was like 10 and like has that other split like grown up?
Gone off, graduated college,
Yeah.
became a race car driver,
And it's like
has a family.
once another one is made, like I don't
There
know,
would be
I think
hundreds
I'm
of
thinking
Splinters.
too deep into it clearly, but it's like, what are the rights now of that other person?
Can they come? Do they morph back into him?
Yeah.
because maybe you can avoid that post-nut clarity disaster that you're imagining if you like do the human centipede. Like, all right, that was great. Just morph
Then
back into
morph
me,
back.
and I don't have to think about the
Or
individuals.
if you are making another
assume they
version
can
of
meld.
yourself, then if they're not recorded by the government, you can just kill it. And
Oh,
then,
like the prestige style?
yeah.
So you're worried about issues of consent, essentially. But I don't
Yes.
think that's there because here, scientifically, hold on. If I'm super horny
Hold on.
and I split off into
boy.
the atomic setup that I am at that moment, I am just making another version of the me that's super horny and has decided to bang myself. So that guy's immediately down.
So you're
'cause he
just
is me.
you're
You know what
just
I'm
you're
saying?
just an
He's like,
extension of
"Hello."
yourself at that time.
Yeah, it was a photocopy of my brain 3 seconds ago. Boom.
Here's another question: when that person morphs back into you, you become one again.
Sure.
Do you have that one's memory? So you're like, oh, that's what my balls taste like. Oh, oh man, I'm sorry, I made that guy do that.
I feel like the answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's like what you have to deal with if you decide to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm really glad we had this discussion.
but maybe that's helpful, for future partners. You can be like, oh, okay, like
I need to wash my balls.
Better make a couple
oh,
boys.
that's what that experience is like.
Yeah.
Come on, fellas, I got a date tonight. Wash my balls with your tongues.
Oh.
What if your partner wanted you to split off so that they could have a throuple with two of her favorite person?
Now I think
Now, that would be sweet.
That's different.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's different.
But things might happen. What if Steve's dick gets a little too close to Steve's face?
Now hold on.
Swat it away.
Maybe
Clearly, I'm like, nope.
Like Challengers
Yeah.
when he hits it. Yeah.
wow.
Does that happen
a
in
lot to think
Challengers?
I just blew your mind.
Does
Huh?
it happen in Challengers?
Yeah, there's a scene in Challengers where him and his buddy are,
Spoiler.
spoiler alert, are making out with Zendaya. And she leaves, and one of them is hard, and his bro is like, whoosh, and swats it. And it's like a dick tap thing, but.
Ooh.
Dang, I was really hoping it was like
I feel like that would
mid-coitus.
Right?
Oh, yeah, not mid-coitus. It would hurt.
Ooh.
For sure. It's a part of your body.
I was going to say, if that was like an actual thing.
I like how that part of the thought experiment changed Madison's whole perspective. And
But I think
thereby
it
made
only-
me correct in my assertion earlier when I said, really?
No. No. Because I think if it's two men, like if a woman was like, I want to have, two men to sleep with.
But the same man.
The same
via
man.
Splinter,
Yes,
sure.
yes. But I feel like if it's a man saying, I want to have two of you, I don't know how I feel about that. Is that bad?
Well, it doesn't have to be a man. It could be your girlfriend
I
wants
guess
two
that's
of you.
true. I guess it's true. Yeah. Interesting.
I'm just saying, Splinter, onto something here.
Yeah.
No, lots to think about.
His gifts
Lots
are
to
wasted
think about.
chasing Firecracker.
But I am
the woman whose friend zoned him.
True.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like the woman who's a piece of shit.
Yes. Well, yeah.
But also, I am concerned about the logistics here. Like, do those other copies stay around? Do they meld back? Do they just waste away and melt like I posited earlier? It's just something to think about. That's all. But he's doing the human centipede. Frenchie's like, oh my God, mon frère.
Let me get in there. Tap me in.
He missed
the
Herogasm. He's
human
like, God,
centipede.
yes. We cut to Huey is still like pretending to talk shit to his mom, but he's in the car with Starlight, and Annie's like super confused. But they're currently on a stakeout with A-Train. And he's kind of trying to talk her into becoming Starlight again. Like, I think it's useful. That's like the Batman symbol speech from Batman Begins, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then A-Train is with his nephews, lying to them about all the people that he's saved. And his brother shows up in the middle of that and outs him as a liar to his nephews.
I really hope he wasn't lying about seeing Pacific Rim Uprising.
At some point, he had to have actually seen it,
I'm sure he wasn't.
It's not as good by many miles as Pacific Rim 1.
I just like the idea of A-Train watching Pacific Rim Uprising. That gives me a lot of joy.
For sure. It's a very specific movie to bring up if you hadn't actually seen it. But Huey stops Starlight from interrupting A-Train and confronting him while he's with his family. He has some sympathy for him there.
Your uncle is no hero. I don't want you anywhere near him.
Yeah. He was very upset about that. So then we cut to
Firecracker.
Splinter with Firecracker. And sorry, my note said dude because I didn't know his name was Splinter yet. And there's this wonderful scene where Sage comes up to Firecracker and confronts her and tells her that she works for Homelander, and that's how she recruits her into her little plan there. But I love the acknowledgement by Firecracker. It's like, she's like, why do you really do this? And Sage wants her to be honest or she's not going to involve her in the plan. So she starts to walk away. She's like, it's just for a purpose. A lot of these people, their family just died from an Oxycontin overdose. They got nothing in life. Maybe they got fired. And society has made them feel guilty about who they are. And I give them a reason. Maybe they're fighting like a secret underground cult, and that's their purpose in life.
Do you want to be warriors fighting a secret underground evil or be an inconsequential nobody that no one will remember?
And honestly, I think that there's so much truth to that statement and why this stuff works.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand that they're helping the systems that are actually keeping them down and falling for the bait of who the enemy is and why they're being kept down.
Well, I mean, it's the core of any like cult affiliated organization. That's like, you just like
their MO.
Poking at the weaknesses of people and, getting them when they're low. So
And giving them a fresca.
Yeah. giving them a purpose. Yeah. So
Butcher wants to grab Sage immediately. And MM's not having it. He's like, you're not supposed to fucking be here. I'm the leader.
Yeah, but she's like, what's the power again? She's just really fucking smart. Let's just grab her.
Yeah, she's really smart.
Why the fuck are we going back?
And MM's not having it, but he goads MM, finally bringing up his wife, which gets him all the way there. And he beats the shit out of Butcher. And he's like, yeah, fuck off, buddy. Go home. We cut to drunk Kamiko starting shit because she's really bothered by that human trafficking poster, wants to draw on it. And the guy's like, hey, gosh dang it, that's my poster.
I spent $1.55 at Kinko's.
God damn it.
Printed.
God damn it, man.
And you wrote all over it.
After we get the scene where Kamiko starts shit, and then Frenchie's like, if you need to hurt someone, maybe I can take the pain, which is deep. That's deep. We cut to A-Train, who's in the boys' secret lair in Chelsea. And he gives them a USB drive with the camera footage that exonerates the 2 Starlighters that are imprisoned for killing the 3 home teamers. And they're like, why are you doing this? What's going on right now? And he's like, honestly, and we know that his character's been turning back toward the side of good for a while now, but he apparently knew that they were there staking him out. And he was very appreciative that they didn't interrupt him with his family. And Starlight doubles down. She's like, well, I would have done it because I don't fucking like you or your family, to be honest with you. But Huey, that was his idea. He's a nice guy.
Petit Huey.
Petit Huey.
So he saved A-Train, and now he's being cool to A-Train.
I like that too. His kindness is what caused them to get further in their plan. You know?
Yeah.
We cut to the fake bank robbery that they've been rehearsing for in action. Ryan's big first save. But in the middle of a perfect, they're following rehearsal to a T. Homelander shows up, which is not the plan, and decides to center himself once again in things. And then he hypes Ryan up a little too much. And when he throws the stunt guy, he throws him like 400 yards into the side of a skyscraper.
Wall.
And he's like a fly.
And I love the little girl actor, like, you saved me.
Thanks for saving me.
And everybody there's a hired actor, and they're like, oh, God.
And then the Deep's like, I thought we weren't killing these guys today.
He is dumb as shit. We cut to the Deep's Blue Sea Room at 9 p.m. They go to Maeve's gender-neutral ballroom to stake it out. But that was the plan all along. Sage corners them with like 6 different versions of Splinter, and they all have guns.
And pink eye.
And they all have pink eye.
One of them starts like, they're starting to like rub their eye. And it's
Frenchie's like,
ooh, pink eye.
Pink eye.
Pink eye.
It's funnier now than it was at the time. At the time, it was like, oh, come on. But now it's really funny. I can see in a writer's room.
I
got a huge chuckle out of it at the time. Pink eye.
I keep calling him Split Man.
Oh my gosh, guys! Maybe this is why I like this episode so much more than you, Chris, because we get so many dicks.
There's a lot of dicks.
Let me
see that dick, and I got to see like 10 of them.
You did, buddy. I'm proud. I'm happy for you.
This is a banner day.
It's all the same wiener, though.
Sure, but hey,
it's not as good as a variety.
But if I squint a little, I can imagine they're different sizes.
If I cross my eyes, there'll be more of them.
It's decent too. It was decent.
Yeah, Firecracker made a bad choice. I'm just gonna say it.
It was hanging. We get to Marvelous Miss Rachel. Like the fight erupts and they're killing each other.
I couldn't tell if they were like trying to make fun of their other show or like use that as as promotion, because it's
probably both.
They're making fun of Miss Marvelous, Miss Maisel,
yeah,
which I thought was funny.
It's like a bat mitzvah, I think, that they end up busting into, and like all the naked Splinters are fighting, and they keep killing them, but he keeps splitting off into more.
I just like how they just walk in kind of like zombies,
lumbering,
naked. Just like blur blur blur.
It'd be cool if he could make as many as you want, but each one is like dumber and less coordinated. Like I think Multiplicity does that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But you remember that the old Michael Keaton movie?
Oh yeah.
But only the Prime, which is the main guy, he can only split.
What
like,
if he said roll out when they left?
They just like get on the floor and they roll
because they're dumb. There's a big shootout. Frenchie and MM run out of bullets, and finally they all get.
Firecracker goes live, and she's like, "Guys, the CIA is attacking us because we investigated a Zionist cabal because they're at the bottom." It's much like, here's the proof, and shows the standee from, I don't know Marvelous Miss Maisel that well, but shows a standee from one of the people from that show.
Yeah. And Kimiko's like kind of dead, Wolverine style. Like they shot her in the head, so she's out for a little while before that can heal.
Just taking a quick break.
If there's ever the boys drinking game, it would like take a giant drink whenever Kimiko gets shot in the head, because it happens quite a lot.
That's the only way to take her out for a second, Yeah. But then at the last second, Butcher shows up with a crowbar, and starts killing all the Splinter splots. And finally, he impales the Prime through the head, which means they all die.
Prime! Oh no!
Oh no!
Prime.
Firecracker, we've always loved you.
And they all died with pink eye.
What a way to
go!
Sad.
We cut to. He says to leave them, but that's important. And he says, "Leave me." But then they come back and save Butcher as well.
Yeah.
But we cut to Homelander bringing Ryan a nice milky shake to cheer him up. And he can't fathom that he's actually upset about murdering the human. That's what you're upset about?
Yeah. Or Keo.
Because he thinks that he's upset because Homelander interjected himself.
He's like, don't worry, buddy. This will be great for your approval ratings. Don't be upset.
Yeah.
Oh, you're upset that you actually murdered a guy?
Oh my God. How many times am I going to tell you?
Humans are just toys.
Jeez, man. You are a
cares?
superhero. And then he takes his milkshake. He's very disappointed in his son. You get no
He's
milkshake.
like, you don't get a milkshake.
Only big boys get milkshakes, and I'm the biggest one.
I get 2 milkshakes because
Only
I'm
good
double awesome.
homeboys get milkshakes.
That's right.
You're not my homeboy.
We cut to
Such a bad name.
using A-Train's evidence, the Starlighters are released, and Starlight takes that moment to embrace her identity as Starlight again. She does the Starlight move. Boop.
That is.
She's basically ET, you know?
She flicks on the light.
Ouch.
We cut to Frenchie partying hard, but alone. He's like crushing up pills with a bottle of Tito's. And I couldn't help but wonder, is that product placement? Because that's a really weird thing. But at the same time, the label was out. You know, they took it. But it's like, does Tito's want to be like, yeah, show them how good they crush up pills. These bottles. Show them how good you can bury your feelings.
That's a weird thing to be like. I want you to associate our brand with really hard drug use.
But that's what you do, you know? Huh? But he calls, I think, Nina from previous season, like his old like murder boss. And that's what's so upset about, has him so upset about Colin, is he recognizes him as the son of a judge that he murdered back when he was not a good person.
Well, I remember at the end of season 1, or excuse me, at the end of episode 1, he's like looking at the photo of Colin with his family
in his house. Yeah.
And I think we were kind of like, oh, like, what does that mean? Like, does he not want to bring Colin into this like hectic lifestyle of his?
Very true.
But no, it's because like he
killed them.
He killed them. Yikes.
That would put a damper on things.
Yeah. And that kind of makes sense why he was kind of awkwardly leaving the apartment, because he was like, oh shit. Like, did he know?
Yeah, he said he recognized him at the Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and things just kind of escalated. That would be tough, man. What a good plot thread. Because Frenchie's like I imagine Colin's like whipping up some eggies, and he's like, "You trying to watch Arcane on Netflix?" And he's just staring at the dad. He's shot in the face, like, I'm not really feeling it right now. You know, like that would suck. But he also really enjoys Colin's company and stuff. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
it's like anytime Colin tries to get deep and talk about like his trauma, Frenchie's like, no talk about trauma.
Do you have any parents? Oh, let us not talk about the subject about the parents.
Poor Kamiko is like, I don't care if you get laid. And he's like, girl, I don't care if you care. That sucks. Oh my God.
I don't care.
Wow. And then she's like, I get hella dick. And he's like, okay, good for you. I got some deep shit going on. That sucks.
Get a barista bro of your own.
Huey busts into the hospital room and finally confronts his mom. One of the lines he's been practicing, and she's like, what? And
it was very cringy.
Yeah, he finally blows up on her and holds her accountable. And it was a Billy Joel drop. It might be a vault. If you guys recall, that was the last thing he said to Robin. They were talking about Billy Joel when she got exploded.
The last thing he said to his mom.
He loves Billy Joel. He needs to not bring that shit up to anybody else that he doesn't want to die.
I know.
It's ruining his entire life. It's Billy Joel. Billy Joel ruins lives.
We all know this. But when he storms out and says, look, you don't do shit with my dad without my approval, storms out, which I thought was rude because your dad is there like dying and you're just like slamming doors and shit. Like when the curtain blew, I was like, come on, man. Keep it together.
It'd be great if Simon Pegg was like, pipe it down.
Like rises up.
Yeah.
I've just been napping. I got out of the coma a while ago.
You got red on you. We cut to Kamiko at the lair, looking at the business card.
Over expensive loft.
Yeah, that the CIA pays for. Government. Yes. It's a write-off. She's looking at the business card of the psychiatrist. She ultimately rips it up, and she's looking at like, I don't know if that's an actual human trafficking ring or if that's just the alt-right fake ones that she's mad about. But she's going to go do something.
The symbol that she keeps looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the terrorist cell that she was
a part of, or tried to make her a part of.
Like her brother was a part of. Yeah, because they're the ones that like killed their family as well. And
so she's
yelling
pondering
at him for
vengeance.
joining them. Yeah.
Is there any other stuff that's going on in this show, right? I know we're short on time, but that feels like a retread a little bit. You know, after season 3, where she felt like more whole and was looking forward to losing her powers and being happy. And now she's upset. And now, you know, now she seems like really invested in like her brother's backstory again and stuff. It just, a lot of it feels like, to me.
It's like we've been down this road before.
Kind of. Like I think she's kind of walked through this a little bit. I'm glad she's in therapy, but
yeah.
I mean, even, I know this isn't a retread, but even Annie's storyline of like embracing the Starlight character is kind of like a I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah. But she storms out presumably to go kill some terrorists. And then Butcher walks in and basically and throughout this episode, he's been upfront and honest for the first time, maybe ever. And he basically straight up asks MM for help. He's like, look, I'm dying in 6 months. I want to do one thing good before I go. I want to get Ryan safe, like I promised Becca. And MM's like, no, too little, too late, bud.
Too little, too late.
He's ice cold with him. And that's the end of the episode.
Dang.
Which I feel like the whole Butcher trying to save Ryan thing, again, is kind of like double dipping a little bit. It's like, we've been down this road before and you fucked it up. Like, you fucked it up once and then you like kind of redeemed yourself and then you fucked it up again. So,
It's true that it makes sense that MM would have very little patience for his redemption.
Bullshit.
So yeah, but again, I feel like I'm hoping the writers are like recognizing that we're recognizing this. And so the payoffs will be much better payoffs. Anyway,
You're feeling George Michael about this.
maybe.
Got to have faith.
Yeah,
A faith.
you're right.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Everything she wants is everything she needs.
That's right. I want to touch your body. Have a body like me. So that brings us to our diabolical moments.
Wrong button.
Wrong button.
Diabolical.
Fucking
That works too.
diabolical.
Okay, works too though.
Okay.
Okay.
Madison, what is your number 3 favorite moment of this episode?
My number 3 is Kimiko being drunk at the TruthCon. I thought it was funny, and seeing like Frenchie talk to her and her kind of. She's been like a humorous character, but I feel like she's really leaning into like the comedy side of that character, and I really enjoyed that. And also too, just I don't know, like her like signing drunk was funny, so that was my number 3.
And Steve?
My number 3 is A-Train with his family. I'm really interested in A-Train's sort of character arc this season. I think it's going into interesting places. Jesse T. Usher is one of those actors that has always been great throughout the show, but I've always kind of hoped for like even more stuff for him to do. And it looks like I'm like really happy that they're like giving him a lot of stuff to do this season, seemingly. So I'm excited for his arc. I just like that he's trying to connect with his nephews and he's still kind of living this lie like, oh, I'm so cool. I saved all these people. And his brother's like, no, you're not. You're a fucking liar. Get away from my, and it just, you can see like he's finally reconciling with all this terrible shit that he's done. He's literally sobering up to what he's been doing his whole life. And so I'm interested to see where that character goes. And that's why I like this team. Number 3, you Kit.
My number 3 is when Ryan throws Koi into the wall. Even though I saw it coming, it was everything I wanted it to be. It was a little harder than I thought. You know, I thought maybe I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think he'd splat him against the wall, but I knew he'd kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
And especially like the little girl, like, thanks for saving me. She's still going to do her line read, but wow, has it changed, you know?
Yeah.
And then the deep being like, what do we do? And we're really killing people?
Dang. We do this again then.
Yeah.
Madison, you're number 2.
Well, my number 2 is also Ryan accidentally killing Koi. Again, for the same reason. Just I could see it coming and I was waiting for the execution and it finally happened. I was like, yeah, that's good.
Steve, you're number 2.
My number 2 is the Splinter fight at the end, just mostly because all those dicks I got to
All
see.
the dicks.
It's very rare that you get to see one dick on screen on TV.
Full frontal male.
And now I got like 10 instances of full frontal male at the same time. Oh my God, my eyes didn't know which one to look at. I was just like, where are they all at? I was a kid in a candy store.
You said freeze frame.
Freeze frame. So it was just like a fun little time. Like I think at one point Frenchie drowns one of them in a fondue.
Chocolate fountain.
Yeah, chocolate fountain.
Like the Golden Corral one.
Yeah, like the Golden Corral one. Yeah. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is when Firecracker is forced to get honest that she doesn't believe anything that she's saying. She's pandering. And specifically why? Because I think it just hits so hard into the core of one of the biggest divides in America right now. And, a little bit of sympathy for what could be hard to have sympathy for, especially if you're chronically online and you run into the shit like every 2 minutes. And, that's why it's so hard to pull apart and cure, this disease that's going on. Because there's everybody wants purpose, and there's a quality of life issue that's very real. It's just the cause and the answer for that keeps being clouded by all these different things, if that makes sense. But I just thought that was like deep and a cool moment. So that it just struck me. That's my number 2. Madison, your favorite moment. I think we all get the same favorite moment. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Because my favorite moment is the dick fighting scene, the Splinter fighting scene.
Madison, I love that you picked that. Oh my God.
Well, it was just one of the reasons why the show is like really fun and cool is because it does have these very obscure, unhinged scenes. And if you had told me that this was going to happen, I would have been like, no fucking way. But it did. And I just was like, wow. And the drowning in the chocolate fountain, the photo booth montage, like it's just a fun fight scene that included, the Miss Marvelous Mabel stuff. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. But that was my number 1.
Steve, your favorite moment.
I think it's the same as ours, maybe. My favorite moment
Will Ferrell?
was Blindside Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Nice.
I was obsessed with that. It was such a, and the Wire reference and like everything was so good.
Yeah. I know some people like hate Will Ferrell. Understandably,
Really?
he can be overexposed. I think for some people, like
That's
meaning he's
fair.
in like a ton of stuff, and he just Will Ferrell's his way through movies. But I fucking love Will Ferrell. So him coming up and like just being, hey, when was the last good meal you had? You're an excellent superhero athlete. Like just killed me.
Yeah, it was
That was a good one.
totally unexpected and everything I needed to like sink deeper and more comfortably into the couch and get ready for this. I just
honestly, I kind of forgot about that scene towards the end of the the episode.
a lot happened. There's a lot of
Yeah.
dicks.
Yeah,
And it has such a
they're just
different
beating you over the head
vibe.
with those things.
I was distracted. Clearly,
The human centipede will throw you off.
yeah.
well,
But the Will Smith, that's a good scene.
Will Ferrell.
Will Smith.
Will, sorry,
when
slapped
was
you.
he,
Gotcha.
when was he in here?
Will Ferrell. Excuse me.
It's because I said slap.
Yeah, yeah, that's why.
It was a long journey we just went on. Like we went from Will Ferrell to human centipede in like 29 minutes.
Insane.
What a journey.
Seriously. Only on this show can you have that type of journey.
Those are our diabolical moments.
I'm surprised Will Ferrell didn't pop up in the human centipede scene.
Hey.
I'm here too.
Okay.
There's a sock in the
With it-
door. Don't you know what that means?
But it's like several iterations of Will Ferrell characters. So
Yeah.
it's like Anchorman. It's Elf. It's
oh no, Buddy the Elf.
Mom, meatloaf. Fuck. I saw a meme the other day. And it was like, you guys realize you won't know if you weren't there, but there was a solid 3 years right before social media took over where all dudes did is sit around and quote Anchorman to each other for 2 to 3 hours at a time.
Yeah, that's 100% what happened in my case.
Yes,
Yep.
that happened.
Yep.
Do you guys?
Mad punted Baxter.
I love Lamp. Everybody's done it. Well, that brings us to our compound VIP, our favorite performance of the episode. Madison, who are you awarding for episode 2?
My compound VIP award goes to Frenchie Tomer Capone. Right? That's how you say his name.
I think so.
Tomer
That's
Capone.
what I would go with.
He
Tomer.
Tomia Capone. I think his emotional connection with Colin, and also playing alongside Kimiko, and I don't know, I felt like his performance was more emphasized this episode, and I just really enjoyed watching him this episode.
Excellent choice. Mr.
Wonderful.
Steve, can't give it to
I'm-
the dick.
Any of them?
As a collective,
Man, I don't want to play this game anymore. No, my pick is Laz Alonso. I thought he's always been a great staple of the show, but I like this sort of role that they have him in now, where he's trying to lead the best he can. He's kind of struggling with it, but mostly like his interaction with Billy is very fascinating, where he's like there's that point where he's like, I kept joining because I thought it would be different. We could just be brothers again, man. And just the heartache, the disgust. He's really good at playing all that stuff at the same time. And I think he's great in this episode.
I agree. I'm going to give it to Laws as well.
Nice.
Ooh.
I was back and forth. I mean, again, there's some strong stuff going on from multiple people. I think Karen Fukuhara is always a gem.
Yeah.
I'll say that every time. But I don't think they've given him as much to work with in the past. You know, he's kind of I really want to be in my family and I got OCD and Butcher keeps pulling me in. Like that's been his thing. But like there's a lot going on right now with him trying to be a leader and really trying to kind of protect Butcher in a way from himself, I think at times as well. But with some tough love, you know, but there's a lot of depth to it. I really like what he's doing. And I agree. But it's great performances across the board. Really excited to dive into episode 3. That will be available on anywhere you can get your podcast, where you're listening right now, tomorrow. Episode 3. And don't forget to tune into our House of the Dragon coverage coming Monday. As well as our Game of Thrones coverage on Patreon. That's all the time we have for right now. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And we've got to go return some videotapes. So this was Streaming Things, Streaming the Boys.
Happy streaming.